In this video, we are answering the question, should you, as an amateur investor, be buying individual stocks? We're going to talk through 11 sections to help answer the question, and also explain what considerations you need to take if the answer is yes. Welcome back to Bluesbeard TV. So, you're thinking about buying individual stocks? Maybe you've heard about a hot stock tip, or you're trying to build your own portfolio. But here's the real question. Should you actually be buying individual stocks as an amateur investor? Before you dive in, there are some critical factors you need to consider. In this video, I'll break down the risks, fundamentals, and strategies that you should know before putting your hard-earned money into individual companies. Stick around, because by the end, you'll know whether buying individual stocks is right for you and how to approach it smartly if you do. Let's get into it. First, let's talk about risk. Buying individual stocks is risky, plain and simple. Unlike index funds, which spread your money across hundreds or thousands of companies, individual stocks concentrate your risk into a single company. What does this mean for you? If you pick the wrong stock, you can lose money fast. If you pick the right one, your returns could beat the market. The key question is, are you willing to take on that level of risk? For most amateur investors, index funds are the safer bet. But if you're up for the challenge, let's talk about what you need to consider. If you're buying individual stocks, you need to understand the fundamentals. This isn't just about picking a company you like or a stock that's trending on social media. Here are the core fundamentals you should be analyzing. Revenue and earnings growth. Is the company making money, and is it growing over time? Profit margins. Is the company efficient in turning revenue into profit? Debt levels. Does the company have too much debt that it could become a problem? Competitive advantage. What makes this company different from its competitors? A lot of amateur investors skip this part. Don't be one of them. Here's a reality check. The stock market is highly efficient. That means the stock prices already reflect most of the available information. Unless you have some insider knowledge, which is illegal to trade on, chances are the stock price already accounts for all the news and earnings reports you're reading. So, what does this mean? It means that finding an undervalued stock is harder than you think, which is why professional investors spend years researching companies before making a move. Amateur investors should focus on investing in companies they truly understand, rather than chasing hot stocks, hoping to beat the market. If you're serious about buying individual stocks, you need a plan. And that includes both an entry and an exit strategy. Entry strategy. Don't buy all at once. Use dollar cost averaging, DCA, to build your position over time. This means buying small amounts at regular intervals to reduce the impact of price fluctuations. Exit strategy. Before you even buy, ask yourself, when will I sell? Will you sell based on a target price, or if something fundamentally changes in the company? Don't hold on to a stock forever just because you like the company. If the fundamentals change, be ready to exit. Here's something many amateur investors ignore. Who is running the company? Great companies have great leadership. What to look for? CEO and management track record. Have they successfully led companies before? Shareholder alignment. Do they own a lot of shares in the company themselves? Decision making. Are they making smart moves that align with long-term growth? If the management is weak, even the best business models can fail. Stock prices aren't just about the company itself. They're influenced by micro and macro factors. Micro factors. Company specific. New product launches, earnings reports, mergers and acquisitions. Macro factors, economy-wide. Interest rates and inflation, market sentiment, global events like recessions or pandemics. These factors can dramatically impact stock prices, so keep an eye on both the company and the bigger picture. Let's talk about something most amateur investors overlook, psychology. Even when you do everything right, research the company, analyze the fundamentals, and have a strategy. Your emotions can still ruin your investments. Here are the 3 major psychological traps that can hurt your performance. Confirmation bias. We naturally seek out information that confirms what we already believe. If you love a stock, you might ignore negative news even when it's crucial. Loss aversion. Studies show that people feel the pain of a loss twice as much as the pleasure of a gain. This means many investors panic sell at the worst time instead of staying invested. FOMO investing. Fear of missing out. When a stock is skyrocketing, it's easy to jump in at the top. This is what happened with meme stocks, crypto bubbles, and IPO frenzies. But investing out of emotion, not logic, often leads to bad decisions. Takeaway. If you want to buy individual stocks, you must control your emotions and make rational decisions based on data, not hype. A lot of people focus on when to buy a stock, but very few think about when to sell. Here's a simple framework to decide when it might be time to sell a stock. 1. the reason you bought it is no longer valid. If the company's fundamentals deteriorate, declining revenues, rising debt, poor leadership, it may be time to exit. 2. The stock is overvalued. If a stock price skyrockets but the fundamentals don't support it, it might be time to take profits. Example, Tesla in early 2021 priced at 100 times earnings while competitors traded at 15 to 20 times. 3. You need the money. Life happens. Emergencies, job loss, or unexpected expenses. If you're investing money, you can't afford to leave the market. That's a red flag. The biggest mistake? Holding onto a stock forever just because you don't want to admit it was a bad pick. Remember, every stock in your portfolio should have a purpose. If it no longer fits, don't be afraid to sell. We always hear about the importance of diversification, but can you overdo it? Yes. If you're investing in individual stocks, owning too many can dilute your returns. Here's why. If you hold 50 times stocks, your portfolio starts acting like an index fund, but without the low fees. You won't get the benefits of concentration, where your best stocks drive strong returns. It's harder to keep track of each company's performance. What's the ideal number of stocks? For most investors, 10 to 20 well-researched stocks provide enough diversification without overcomplicating things. If you're holding 50 times stocks, you might be better off just buying an index fund instead of managing them individually. Not all stocks are about growth. Some pay you just for holding them. These are called dividend stocks. What are dividend stocks? These companies share a portion of their profits with investors. Example, Johnson & Johnson, Procter & Gamble, and Coca-Cola. They tend to be stable, defensive stocks that perform well over time. Why are dividends useful? They provide passive income, which you can reinvest to buy more shares. They help reduce risk. You still earn returns even if the stock price doesn't go up. During market downturns, dividend payments soften the blow. Who should invest in dividend stocks? If you want steady income instead of just capital gains. If you're investing for the long term and want compound growth. They may not give you the same explosive returns as growth stocks, but they provide a reliable stream of cash flow. Let's wrap this up by talking about the biggest mistakes amateur investors make when buying individual stocks. 1. Ignoring fees and taxes. Buying and selling frequently, you might be losing money to trading fees and capital gains taxes. Investing is about long-term growth, not constant trading. 2. Not having an exit plan. Many investors hold on to losing stocks too long, hoping they'll bounce back. Have a plan and don't let emotions take over. 3. Trying to time the market. Waiting for the perfect price often means you never buy at all. Instead, use dollar cost averaging, DCA. Buy a little at a time and remove the guesswork. 4. Buying based on hype. If your reason for buying a stock is, I saw it trending on Twitter, that's not investing, that's gambling. Always do your own deep research before putting money in. 5. Putting too much money into one stock. Even the best stocks can crash unexpectedly. Never put more than 5 to 10% of your portfolio in any single stock. If you avoid these mistakes, you'll be ahead of 90% of amateur investors. So, should you actually be buying individual stocks? At the end of the day, buying individual stocks isn't for everyone. But if you do, make sure you have a strategy, understand the risks, and focus on the long term. There's nothing wrong with picking a few individual stocks while keeping the majority of your portfolio in low-cost index funds. In fact, that's what many experienced investors do. Let me know in the comments, do you invest in individual stocks or do you prefer index funds? If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more investing insights. See you in the next one.